Hey Chaffey Panthers, you're listening to What's in the Wind by The Breeze. I'm your host, Loureyna Pablo, here to discuss what's happening around Chaffey and how our experiences connect to bigger ideas like community, identity, and more. This podcast features guest hosts of staff, students, and faculty. Last episode, the wind brought us to Library Learning Commons and construction. Today, the wind takes us not to a place, but to a people. Our next guest host is Sadie Grantham, one of the people bringing student life to life.
Hi there.
Hi, welcome to What's in the Wind. Can you please introduce yourself to our listeners?
My name is Sadie Grantham. I'm the Director of Student Equity, Activities, and Engagement.
Well, thank you so much for being here. A lot of students see the flyers, the events, the music, but many still don't fully know what student life is. So today we're diving right into it. First, I wanted to talk to you about your recent events. Which one are you most proud of within the past few months?
I'm going to have a hard time picking one, so I'm going to say two of them. I think the thing I'm most proud of is our cultural programming, and the two most recent examples of that are Hispanic Heritage Month and Native American Heritage Month. We did kickoff celebrations to acknowledge the month of cultural significance for both of those things.
That's great. And were there any goals going into it? And how do you decide which events are worth bringing back for each semester?
I think the goal for me is always to have community, to have engagement and connection, and hopefully along the way we can learn something about ourselves, about leadership, about our peers and their cultures. I want there to be some kind of tangible learning opportunity that you take away from the events, so those are always kind of the primary goals. And in terms of what things we bring back, I think for me it's based on the students. What do you all enjoy? What do you want to see come back? What things do people attend and engage in more than others? I think that's kind of how I gauge what are we going to do again versus what was a one and done sort of event.
Do you have a survey or do you ask students directly?
Yeah, we talk to students directly really often. The benefit of our team working in the Student Life Lounge is that we have touch points with students every day, multiple times a day. So we're constantly having conversations with them about what they want, about what they enjoyed. But we do also do formal surveys as well, and then we compile all that data.
So what do you think students gain from showing up, even if it's just for 10 minutes between classes?
I think that they gain community. They gain a sense of belonging and feeling like they're welcomed somewhere. There's so much data that supports the importance of third spaces and what student engagement and a sense of belonging does for students in terms of their academic success and their retention, meaning do they come back each semester or do they continue to the end of their academic journey? So I think all of that is part of it. I think it increases students' ability to succeed, but it also makes them feel like this campus is their home and they belong here. And if you have a community of people, you're more likely to want to be somewhere, and then you can show up as your best self a little bit better, and that's going to make you more successful. So I think that you really can achieve that even in 10 minutes, or if not, have that achieved in 10 minutes, plant a seed for you to want to continue to grow that and engage in it. And so then you maybe get those outcomes in the next 10 minutes or, the amount of time you spent after that initial kind of touch point, I guess.
Yeah, because I spent I think 5 minutes at the kickoff for the Native American Heritage Month, and I'm really interested to see the other cultural events that Chaffey hosts.
Yeah, so that's the goal, right, is to get students to experience one little piece of something that at least gets them thinking, okay, what else is happening here? And then maybe they continue to engage.
Going more into the conceptual, when we say student life, what does that mean at a community college? When we think of four-year universities, we think Greek life this, music festival that, but what about here at Chaffey?
My goal is really to make it as close to a university experience as we can. Not that we're, exactly modeling that, but we want you all to have a college experience, just like any other student gets to have a college experience. So even though we don't have Greek life, we have student government, we have clubs, we have organizations that students can get tapped into that can provide that same level of engagement and community and kind of camaraderie that maybe you would get from a sorority or fraternity. And then we also have things not a music festival, but events where there is live music or bands. We had a fall festival recently where we had a live band. So I really want you all to experience similar things to what a university student would get to experience, because I don't think that community college students are any less than four-year students, and their experience shouldn't be any less either.
Most definitely. And Chaffey is a commuter school, so that does kind of make it hard to have that student life that maybe four-year universities that have dorms have. Mm-hmm. So how does student life help make a campus feel alive when people are always coming and going?
Yeah, that's tough because it is a little bit different. We try to provide as much engagement as possible, and we try to provide multiple entry points. So if we do workshops, we try to facilitate them virtually or hybrid so that students who are at home or maybe at another campus can still engage with it. And then we also have things happening at various times of the day, various days of the week, so that students, depending on when their schedule is, can still come and engage with something. And then I think just the presence of the lounge itself, for it to be a welcoming space all the time. So in between classes or even on a day that students don't have class, they still want to come and be part of that. So I think it's a number of different things, but the combination of all of those different components creates an environment where I think everyone can kind of still get tuned into what we're doing in the way that they're able to. I don't know if that makes sense, but
it does make sense. And segueing into discussion about the student lounge, I have to admit I haven't been there that much, maybe once or twice very briefly in my time throughout Chaffey. And I feel like I'm one of many, for the most part, just attending class and leaving. So for listeners who haven't been there, what is the student life lounge meant to be for us?
Well, I appreciate you being transparent. I hope that you do come and visit us more often after this episode. But
will do.
We do have a pool table. We have a ping pong table. We have a basketball hoop with 2 hoops where folks can kind of verse each other. We have board games, cards, dominoes, things that students can check out. We have a TV. We have couches. We have chargers and charging stations for students to do homework. So there's a lot of things for students to come and engage in, but really I think it's the sense of community. If you come to the lounge during a time where it's busy, there are so many people in there having conversation, laughing, creating connections, really solidifying their community here at Chaffey. And those are people that I have personally observed did not know each other at the beginning of the semester. I know a bunch of students that just started this fall that came to orientation because we hosted workshops in the student lounge, and they were brand new. They never knew each other. And I remember meeting them then, and now I see them in the lounge together and they're best friends in the entire world.
I love that.
And so I get to watch in real time these relationships and friendships blossom. And so if none of the activities speak out to you, at least the sense of community and relationship and connection, which is so important for us as human beings to have. We really are community-oriented creatures. And so I hope that kind of attracts anyone to come in and find their people because it's a really good environment to do that in. I think a lot of this generation did experience the pandemic, sadly. So I think if you can leverage what we have to offer here for you all to experience that community and connection, it would be good because unfortunately some of you didn't get to have that, but you can here.
What's in the Wind is a part of Chaffey's student-run news outlet. We publish stories about Chaffey and for Chaffey, serving as a voice of the campus and striving to provide coverage that resonates. In Chaffey Basketball Wins Nail-Biter versus Cerritos, Xavier Chavez covers Chaffey's first game of the season. It's been a bit, but want a recap of the No Kings protest in Rancho? Check out my story Down at the Crown, Rancho Cucamonga's No King protest, October 18th. Wondering what's happened at the Wignall Museum? Check out Max's story Landscape of Art at Chaffey. We also have many more stories to check out on our website, thebreezepaper.com, with more Chaffey news, features, opinions, and more. Even though students are closing out for the semester, the semester's ending soon, I know you and your team are already thinking ahead. What's something students can look forward to for next semester?
Oh my gosh, there's so much. The first week of school, we do Welcome Week, so we have a whole week of workshops and resources for students to learn about what's available on campus for them. We have admissions and records come out, financial aid, transfer center, various programs like Puente, Umoja, Aid to Mend. We do a lunch hour every single day of that week from 12 to 1, and we provide lunch to the first 250 students. And we have a DJ, and we have music and games. So we start the semester off in that way with 4 days of programming. We also have themed dress days that week, so each day will have a different theme. And then every month, we constantly have things happening. We put out a student life calendar monthly, and it has board games, it has karaoke, it has bracelet making, movie nights. There's so many different things that are happening all the time. There's going to be something that everyone can get tuned into.
Yeah, I definitely follow on Instagram, and it's really helped me keep updated. And I do send it to some of my friends here at Chaffey, and I'm like, hey, you want to go here? And we have gone to a few things together.
I love that. I love that.
And for students who who want to get involved, maybe join a club, volunteer, even work with student life, where would they start?
They can visit our office, of course, at any time. They can ask myself, Sonia, our student life coordinator, or any of our staff that work in the office. We're always happy to answer questions for anyone. They can also check on the website. I think it's chaffey.edu/studentlife. And so there's information about joining student government there. There's an entire club list there of every single active club we have on campus. And it links to our campus calendar as well. So the webpage that hosts all of the events that happen on campus are there on the webpage also.
So if you want to get involved or find a place to unwind, you can stop by the Student Life Lounge and follow them at Chaffey Student Life for updates on events, spring planning, and more. And thank you all for listening to episode 2 of What's in the Wind. Again, I'm your host, Loureyna Pablo, and I'll see you next time the breeze takes me to you.